it's more of what to expect. It's what to expect of Count the Days now and in the future. It's the first tune where we've found our sound, I'd say.
Yeah. I'll be smashing, and if you're not there, I'll find you.
Well, in theory, all the bands previously mentioned are influences, right?
Yep.
All of them combined to one is Count the Days.
Yeah.
Therefore, I think Count the Days.
That was a media trained answer. That was good. That was good. Please. It's the first time I actually connected with music and went, God, somebody hears me out.
Give it to Deftones.
I think the edge.
I'm edging it to Gallus. Oh no, that's fucked.
I know you.
Oh, that's getting cut. That's fucking
Hello everybody, we are Cheaper Than Therapy, and today we are joined by one of the best bands coming out of Glasgow at the moment. Yeah, true. Exactly. Love you too, mate. Count the Days. How are you boys?
Man, good, how are you?
Aye, nervous, mate.
Oh, it'll be fine.
But yeah, if you can all introduce yourself and just what part you play in the band, that would be fantastic.
I'm Div. I jump about like an absolute maniac.
The band wank up.
I'm Boyd and I play the drums.
I'm Reese and I play the bass guitar.
I'm George and I play, well, I would like to say lead, but I'll go with secondary guitar. Do you want to do that again? Because I was just quite wanking in your bit.
Sorry, you keep
That sound.
So just tell us a bit about your background and what got you to this part in your journey today. So, started off with the Glasgow music scene, just absolutely incredible bunch of people, incredible bands. And when I was a wee guy, like when I'm 15, 16, I was going, do you know what? I would love to be a part of that. So had a couple of attempts, and this is my most recent attempt, Count the Days.
With an attempt. I love that. Well, I'm fairly new in the grand scheme of things. Well, October now. I just complete chance, luck, I guess. I knew Reese, who's been playing bass for, well, sorry, I'll let him tell you that bit, but I knew Reese through the kind of Authority Jazz Band. I'm lucky enough with that, we got another project off of that, but I was lucky enough to Div, who's supporting the other project, Wee Funky Few, and he somehow liked what he was seeing and hearing, and gave me the shout. I've been lucky enough to be integrated with the music scene that Div was talking about, and the opportunity's been amazing. And the people I've been able to meet and like just it's been smashing, and I'm really grateful for that. Exciting as well. I said this in the last interview, we had exciting times to be playing in Glasgow, and especially exciting to be doing it with these three. Great.
That's quite good, as George was saying, Glasgow is the place, man. Glasgow's been a place for a wee bit as well. Not just for music in general. I mean, rock and metal is kind of and punk's kind of the main thing there now. But just in general, mate. Like me and George have got like a funk project on the side. Not even the side, not on the side. Me and George got a funk project as well. Like just music in general in Glasgow is really good. But I've enjoyed it a lot. Div asked me to join the band in about March time of 2025.
Yes.
March 2025. And then I joined, and it's been great ever since, man. I think my first gig was House Guest, which is a wee festival in Glasgow, and that was like there you go, sit there on the shirt, and that was like that was like a kick in the face in the best way possible. But for the Glasgow music scene, it's just everything all at once.
Count the Days is kick in the face the best way possible.
Aye,
I can confirm, by the way.
I'm putting that in the bio.
Next to new punk. Aye, but no, I've really enjoyed it. It's really helped me with my other project as well, and just figuring out how to play live gigs, and that's the best part, man, is doing a live thing. It's what you work towards your whole life, is like it's just those wee moments of being able to play in front of a crowd. And yeah, man, I'm enjoying it. And then I'll pass it over to the newest member, Big Biffy.
I've literally been in the band for what, a month?
Yeah.
If even. Literally right in the deep end with recording and that. We've got gig coming up the 15th of July in Hug and Pint. That'll be my first one.
I'll be smashing, and if you're not there, I'll find you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's really just like I'm learning all the songs and that now, and just getting to grips and like getting to know them. Yeah, getting to know them as well.
Fair play with that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but yeah, vibes and that.
Vibes and that, perfect.
Right, so who would you say are your biggest influences when it comes to just being on stage, recording, whatever? Who's your biggest influences?
Can tell you right now, this is going to vary wildly between us all. For me, the main one would have to be Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. Absolute childhood hero. Watching him play live when, like, I was a wee guy. First time I ever properly dove into music on my own behalf was hearing American Idiot and going, I absolutely love that, I want to know more about it, and that album's absolutely changed my life. So I kind of strive for his kind of stage presence and that, but also kind of mix in more elements with more recently kind of like Fred Durst, and then sticking in the Glasgow scene, Barry Dolan. Like, Barry Dolan from Gallus is one of the top 5 frontmen of all time. He's so cool without even trying. He's just a great guy. Just an absolute great guy, and he does it great. That's all I can say in that.
Take it. Musically, influences just the vary. I'm sure that will be spoken about later on. When it comes to the live setting, it's very much learned through experience, in my opinion. Like, go to gigs only really started. I started going to gigs and playing them very much around the same time. So all the influence and all the idea of playing a live show and being on stage, and especially the venues we were playing, like, you're not going to go to Bella Houston and see whoever's like the Sex Pistols. I've seen them though too. That's a big moment. But seeing them in Bella Houston, you're not going to get the how to act on stage, because you're not going into touch in front of 30,000 people, and the people will get like binoculars and the hill and stuff. It's the folk are right in front of you, like, so you've got to act completely different. So I think that the antics from this man especially, it's a lot to learn from. Coming in as being freshly new to the scene, but even like Gallus and being able to see people that go from, we've seen them in McCool's recently, it was mental. With then at Tenement Trail, we're in a building like the Barrowlands, and they're still able to hold it. Like, it's something you can't quite teach, if I'm honest, but being able to witness it and try and emulate and capture some of the magic that people we're lucky enough to call friends have, and the boys I'm lucky enough to share the stage with, I'd say that's my inspiration, especially for live anyway.
I know, what an answer.
So well spoken. What an arsehole, so well spoken.
I'm wanting that free pint.
You're not getting it. I'm really similar to George in that sense, where I kind of got the live experiences from doing it. I think the big one for me was recently was seeing Tom McGuire and the Brassos at the Barrowlands. Yes. It was such a. It was like, it wasn't. I like to think of gigs more like a performance than a gig, like a show. That's what I try to do. Put on a show. Exactly. You don't want to just play songs. You want to be the band, you know. And Tom McGuire did that perfectly. He did. He's just so silly and in the best way possible. That's what I try to do as well. Another big band for me actually. I've seen the band. They're called Frank's House, like a funk hip hop kind of band, wee fusion kind of thing. They're just so unapologetically themselves on stage, like Jamie, the front man. He's like a rapper. It's just so funny. But it comes across as funny, but in a good way. You know, you can tell he's not taking the piss. Yeah. It's just enjoying himself, just being himself. And Erin as well, amazing vocals.
And that reflects on the crowd as well.
Oh, yeah, man, 100%.
You see that.
Rubs off on everyone.
You feel it as well. You feel it so much, and that's what I mean. I try to emulate, and I imagine we try to emulate as a band. It's just this is us. This is what we sound like. I hope you like it.
We do. We very much do.
To like it.
For like the drums, I suppose like my main influence would be Craig Reynolds from the band Straight from the Path. Just not even just like he's like he's playing, but like his stage presence, he's got like a way about him when he's playing to make himself look like really big, and I like that a lot.
It's difficult to sit in down position.
Exactly. That's the thing that makes it so hard.
You do though. You give it. You give it full pelt. You're fully going for it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I try my best.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
I don't really know what else to say about that, except for that.
Perfect. Right, it's time for a wee game then. Right?
Oh Jesus! Here we go.
Wee game of winner stays on. You've probably seen it everywhere. So,
But we need a whole collective answer.
yeah, you need. So if you need to deliberate. So we've just got a few bands that we're going to put up against each other, and you need to decide who stays on.
Winner stays on, man. I'm
I've tried to keep it within a certain genre, but then there's like one that's a bit different to the rest anyway. Right, so first of all we'll go for A Day to Remember versus Stiff Little Fingers.
SLF.
I love A Day to I love A Day to Remember, right? But SLF was one of the main reasons I picked up a guitar along with Green
That was
Day.
your upbringing,
Yeah.
man. I went to the Paddy's Day show with that, man, and I'm telling you, it was terrifying.
Oh mate, I was there as well. We were both there as well, mate.
See them at divorced dads that are willing to just
Mate, it's
hook you for no reason.
Amazing. Everyone there is bald.
I'm not being funny. I get speared and he was talking. Like it was in between tunes. There's people tuning the guitars. I drink a water because they're getting on. But honestly, they're just gone for it. I don't think you can beat that. Yeah, SLF's man. So anyway,
That's what I'm saying. Every single person that goes to SLF at Paddy's Day, they're all bald, including the man stood next to me right now.
if you like bald people.
So are we going with SLF then?
Yeah, we'll go with SLF.
So we've got SLF versus the Sex Pistols.
Pistols.
Sorry. I know more Pistols than I do SLF.
SLF's one of the ones that they don't get the credibility they deserve. But I think it's a hard one because
The Pistols do, David.
yeah, they can.
Can they?
Yeah,
Did you
they did back in the day. They did back in but the front man of the Pistols isn't the same front
You're
man.
fucking grand, was it? That's not the same.
We're talking all the time Pistols.
I don't mind the bollocks, just that them be, I mean, if in Paisley, you know what I mean, you go in the bungalow, you see what's on the wall, that wouldn't have happened.
The impact,
Even just the history, mate, just Pistols in general, just fucking of all time.
I think I'm outvoted in this one. Like,
We do not condone anything Johnny Rotten says or has said. The Sex Pistols was our answer.
Sex Pistols versus Gallus.
Gallus.
I can see that coming in.
Again, touching back on that, like for being at like local level and seeing guys who, again, as George mentioned, like we're lucky to call our pals, do what they do and have such a euphoric feeling when you see them. Like I was talking to Mackenzie, big shout out to Mackenzie. There is no better feeling than a Gallus live show. It just makes you think everything is possible and you're on top of the world.
Yeah, exactly what we were like saying, well, exactly what I said about the Sex Pistols. Like, I've seen them, obviously not the original lineup or whatever, but I've been able to kind of capture that on like such a large scale. And I think that when you've got Gallus, what I said, like your granddads or whatever, back in the day, that's obviously their peak. We've seen, or well, you probably more so than myself, but
Me too.
exactly. You've seen how Gallus have went, like you've seen the growth as well. And I don't know if anybody else is excited about the new material, but I certainly am. I get so many different things. I had my birthday recently, and the Gallus ticket was definitely the highlight. So I just don't think you can beat it, and I think being able to see them at our level and seeing them so many different times, different places, and just the growth, I don't think you can quite top that. So I'm interested in what your next band's going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is the one that I kind of put in as a joke.
Right.
So Oasis. Yeah, I knew that was going to be the answer, that's why I done it.
Don't you give me that. What are these faces about, mate?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. The man in the Fred Perry's also shaking. No, I mean, that's...
I've been shaking all day.
what would be your answer? Let's turn to you. What would be your answer?
Gallus, 100%.
Gallus.
I realise who's getting interviewed here, the fuck up. No, I'm kidding on.
In terms of like who's like in my opinion like actually better. Like I would,
who do I enjoy
I would say Gallus, but I mean that Oasis comeback gig is probably the best gig I've ever been to. It's probably the best gig I've ever been to, but still. Gallus gave me about a million nights back in the day where it was amazing. So
who do you listen to more? It's Gallus. The answer's Gallus. So I think you've got to stick with that. Just solely because of that. Like maybe when I was like 12, it'd be a different answer, right? But come on.
Yeah, fair.
Right, so we've got Gallus versus Green Day.
It's still Gallus.
I mean, if that was Green Day, for us it's Gallus.
For me and the other 3-1, so I think we'll go with Gallus, but I wouldn't know Gallus if it wasn't for Green Day. I picked up a guitar, I got into music. Green Day was my big thing, so without Green Day I wouldn't even know who Gallus are. So yeah, but
Green Day, but everyone else has gone Gallus.
Yeah, so I think as a collective band we'll be Gallus.
Right, so Gallus or Limp Bizkit?
Still Gallus. Limp Bizkit completely switched the record with everything they done.
Well, I mean, this band also have a connection to Limp Bizkit and Gallus, but what could that be, David?
I wonder what that could be. Doing break stuff at the bars.
We will talk about the bars later, don't you worry.
Oh. But yeah. Again, love Limp Bizkit. Count the Days wouldn't be where it is without Limp Bizkit, but again, we have to go with our boys Gallus.
Right, Gallus or Deftones?
Oh.
Shit. I just think that Gallus are certainly so special to every one of us in terms of, I don't know, growth and development and us being here and like the gigs. I mean, me and Biffy weren't there at the time, but you were lucky enough to get given the opportunity to play probably the biggest stage to date almost. Still the biggest stage to date that County Days have been platformed on was because of Gallus. But the Deftones discography is big and it's quality. Like you can't say that about a lot of folk, man.
I think
Reese does not agree. I think
you've got sense.
Like I think that you listen to so many bands and how many records do you go and you can handpick like greatness from every single one of them. I think Deftones is personally one of the bands that you can, but it's really tough. See at face value, man. It's so difficult.
They kind of made shoegaze, but I'll give it Deftones.
Give it to Deftones.
I think the edge of it.
I'm edging it to Gallus. Oh no, that's fucked.
I know you're.
Oh, that's getting cut. That's getting cut. That's fucking horrible. Oh, you bastard.
I know you're pals on, but can be honest.
I'm mentioning it to Gallus.
I can't
I mean, I think even with you, like a month into the band, and going in and recording with Jan and I was basically just going Gallus, like not shut.
The relationship is there, like more than like what it is with like fucking Deftones. Do you know, like fucking
By the way, I'm saying
I like fucking Gallus in it.
I'm gonna go Gallus.
What do you think?
I think Gallus.
Gallus.
Gallus?
Aye.
Alright then, brilliant. Gallus or Biffy? Or Biffy?
Oh.
Well, I mean, Biffy's one guy.
Aye.
Biffy Clyro.
Biffy Clyro.
Biffy Clyro, not just Biffy himself.
Also, Gallus supported Biffy
Biffy
Clyro,
Clyro.
so there's.
That was my first time seeing Gallus, was supporting Biffy Clyro in Edinburgh. Yeah.
That was an amazing opportunity.
Aye, that was class. That was a great night. I don't know.
I mean,
That's it, like.
See when you look at Scottish bands, especially for the last 20 years or something, who's had the longevity of Biffy Clyro? Who's like, no, I mean you've got bands that are like, I don't know, you see like the Fratellis and Franz Ferdinand might be the Shouts, but for me, like we were talking about this discography, it's only really one record. In my opinion, maybe I'm just uneducated in that front, but Biffy Clyro have a lot. Right, that's my shout. But in my opinion, they bands only have a record that I could physically pick out. I'm more meaning Biffy Clyro. There's a lot of that, and I mean Simon Neil to the point of. See, they're headlining festivals across Europe. They're playing to hundreds of thousands of people, year in, year out. And I still think that there's a level of quality there in their music. More so, maybe the last record wasn't particularly for me as such, but I still think the quality was there. I mean, he played Soccer Aid last week.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that? Yeah. No, I mean, like, who's doing that? And I think for the impact on Scottish music, and maybe us personally, I don't know. I would say certainly for myself, I think. This one is tough. I love Gallus to the Moon and Back, but I think Biffy Clyro's my answer anyway.
I think I'm going to have to agree with George, because I was in a real songwriting rut for ages with my old project. Everything was just sounding so similar, and then I properly took my deep dive into Biffy Clyro, and it kind of reinvented the wheel for me personally. Biffy Clyro was a massive influence for Count the Days, and the kind of big anthemic choruses, but still having the fiddly verses and like, Biffy Clyro. Every time I've seen them, I was lucky enough to see them at the the Secret Show in SWG3, and that was 500 caps in a stadium band.
He was there or not?
Oh, how good was it?
It's one of my favourite gigs ever. It was so good.
And then seeing them headline Transmit when they brought out the pipes for Sting and Bell, and then going to that Hydro headline back in January, they know how to cultivate an audience.
And again, uniting folk. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's our common ground in music. Uniting folk. I would not have known any of these people in this room if it wasn't for music. And I think going to Transmit, which is maybe the last few years, I mean, you obviously hear it from them, maybe 5 years older than you or whatever. Tina Park was amazing, man, you're never going to recreate it, right? And rightly so, but I think Transmit has kind of had that, I don't know, the sort of the feeling that it's just for the Waynes and just all we idiots. But
the alternative side of it's
you've been, aye, I know, but you were there in Saturday Transmit, sorry, am I right? Yeah. Saturday Transmit last year, and she's standing in that crowd. That was not well, personally, that was a Transmit crowd for me. But see, the last few years, that wouldn't have blended in. See, for like saying the longevity, 20 years or so, there was I think the crowd was very mixed, and everyone was there for the music. And I think that's a specialty that not a lot of people have, especially in Glasgow, especially in the Transmit stage. You know what I mean? I just think that the brilliance is maybe undefeated. Who's your next band?
The next band, so who we went for actually?
Oh, sorry, is it Biffy Clyro? That spiel's still Gallus, by the way. Fucking.
Have you heard actual factual? So I'm saying.
It's Biffy or Count the Days?
Biffy, aye.
Oh, come on! Back yourselves, boys.
On what front?
The whole front of the rest of them. Who's better?
Aye, but I've never went. I have went and seen Count the Days what I talk about before I was in. Aye.
Right, just in general.
I love
Back yourselves, boys. Come on.
I love Count the Days so much. It's brought me through my later teenage years. Thank you. It's brought me through my later teenage years, and meeting these three boys who are like brothers to me. It's something that wouldn't have happened without Count the Days, and the fact to get to share the stage with them and chat utter shite with them and just do life with them. It's something that even the greats like Simon Neil and Biffy Clyro, they cannot recreate.
Yeah.
So would have to go Count the Days.
Yeah, it's Count the Days. It's that bond that's no there. It's personal. Of course it's personal. It's our band, you know what I mean? That's kind of how it works. But like Biffy Clyro, obviously the influence is there, the inspiration's there, and like I've just spoke about them for 5 minutes, you know what I mean? But I'm not saying I just don't think without Biffy Clyro there was no Count. I think that was ever the situation. Like I don't know if that would have been. You know, obviously you don't know the answer to that question, but I do think that without Biffy Clyro, Count the Days are still existent, like, and they would have been. And I just think that the boys next to me, it's a certain kind of love, and see to put up with, and you've got Reese who's in Edinburgh now, and you've got the shit dark Tuesday nights, and you're rehearsing, and you're still hammering through it, and you're the prep for the show, and it's all the wee kind of moments that don't go unnoticed. Obviously, like this, it's a great night. I love this kind of thing for the band, know what I mean? And being able to speak to like guys like yourself, it's a privilege, honestly. I just think that with your own band, there's a magic created in the live show when you're on the other side of the barrier that you don't get from watching another band. Or as much as you love them, as much as they could be your favourite, I just don't think, and like you're saying, back yourself, of course, I'm saying Count the Days.
Well, in theory, all the bands previously mentioned are influences, right?
Yep.
All of them combined to one is Count the Days.
Yeah.
Therefore, I think Count the Days.
That was a media trained answer.
That was good.
That was good. Please.
But the whole thing is I'm meant to keep it going, mate, so there's Biffy, like nice and smooth. But
well, that's it. So officially Count the Days is the best band on the planet.
I couldn't have said it better myself. we'll screw you up for
Stadium
tour. You're alright, cheers. Just put a tenner in my back pocket and away with it.
So you released your debut EP at the beginning of the year. What was the process behind recording that, and then the lead up to the release? Like, what was that feeling like? So the EP was a collection of our 3 singles, One More Tune, Kings and Queens, and an acoustic version of Springbank Road.
I'm just sitting my word in.
I thought you were leaning over my shoulder.
I'm sorry.
So it was a very spaced out time to actually be creating. Like, Above You was recorded in October 2024. Springbank was February 2025, and then Get Up was what? That was your first recording. That was
Get Up was
June.
maybe.
Yeah, it was. It was June. We were in with Blair because it was Sex Pistols was the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of these where you kind of learn yourself as a band as you go along. You learn what fits you and what you want to be as a collective band. Like, I learned what Counting the Days was, because going in with Above You, there was still a lot of angst left from my old pop punk band. Kind of got that all out with Springbank, which was the more like heavy hitting stadium pop punk stuff, and then Get Up was the right. Let's get some anger back in this. So when we went in to record Kings and Queens, it was kind of a process of putting all 3 of them together and finding the sound of Count the Days. Yeah.
So for me personally, I mean, the first 3 tunes that Dave was saying had been recorded was before my time in Count the Days. So there was big shoes to fill, of course there was, man. Like, coming in and you've got tunes that people are listening to, tunes that people are aware of, and that they want to hear live. And I think when you're playing live, you should strive for it to sound as much as the records you can and better. So playing tunes that other people had played on, credits to everyone.
Yeah.
That was there was a lot of kind of pressure on that, but I had the privilege of being in with Jan, who we've been in with several times now, across different projects recording, because Jan is the man.
Is the real man.
Yeah, so being in doing Kings and Queens again wasn't really a song that I had a lot of a hand in writing, but I was happy enough to play the parts. So playing the parts in the studio and then being able to put that out was special. Especially being on the Count the Days record, feeling a wee bit more part of it almost. But the experience that we had and the stuff that followed the EP coming out, it's nice to hear the kind words and the reviews. And King Tut's in January was special for me personally. Anyway, my first time playing the room, these guys have experienced already, but doing that under special circumstances, and especially having like the moment like Acoustic Springbank Road that was on the EP, that was like, that's something, if you were in the room, which we were lucky enough to be, you wouldn't have, if you weren't there, you wouldn't have known the magic that was like, and the whole tech thing, the guitar, that you couldn't hear the guitar, and Divs had to stand at the front and hearing the words sang back to him, and it's special and it's good to see. And I just think the first album, sorry, getting ahead of myself now. The first behave. The first EP it's a collection of songs, and it's a wee bit of what we can produce, but off of the back of that, like Div's saying, I think we found our sound through that, and we know what worked and we know what didn't now. and that's kind of helping shape the future sound, the current sound of Counting the Days. And I think personally in the last few months, it's the happiest I've ever been with it. In the studio recently, I'm sure you'll find out a lot more about that. I'm not sure when this is coming out, but I'm sure you'll find out a lot more about that soon. But it's probably the most excited I've been, not to say that I wasn't before, but I definitely am. I'm up for it now. And I think that the next EP will be more what we are aiming to be as a band. Like 110%. Like everyone's going to be involved in the writing process as well, which is of course difficult when people aren't in the band. So now that we've got that, I think it's going to be special. And I think it's going to be a body of art opposed to a collection of songs, and that's what we're kind of striving for. So although the first EP was special and really, really good, and we all thoroughly enjoyed being able to play the songs before and after, I think that what's to come is the exciting bit for me anyway.
Yeah, man. I think the EP really helped us find our sound. It was more like a collection of songs of being like, these are all the things that we like. And then I think going forward, we can now kind of pinpoint that into Counting the Days. You know, I think that's a thing we struggled with actually. At least when coming into the band in last year March. I feel like that's. I mean, it was quite intimidating coming into the band. It was quite cool. Like I got to learn songs that were on Spotify already. You know, I felt like, oh, fucking they're a band. That's cool. But it was just being able to get integrated into the band and then being like a member instead of the bass player. That's felt really cool. And I think that's helped a lot finding our sound. And as I said recently, we've been recording, and it sounded good, man. I'm really enjoying it. I think I've especially me, I've found myself as a bass player because metal's hasn't been my forte before Counting the Days anyway. I think it definitely is now. I'm more comfortable in this genre now, but I feel like I'm finally sounding like myself on my instrument, which I'm really proud of. And I can only thank the boys. Thank the boys around me for helping me with that and being comfortable in that. But the EP coming out in January was a big moment. The Tuts headline was a really big moment, and a lot of folk came out, and we're always going to be thankful for that. And yeah, we're just ready to go again, get some new tunes out, and fill some sweaty rooms. Fucking 1,000 key mounts.
I mean, I can't really say much. I had like no involvement at all in the EP, but like listening to it when Div first asked me to join, like as an outsider, it came across as like put together. Like I could tell that a lot had went into it and all that, and that was like really convincing for me to be like, I've got the opportunity to join this band. This is what's out. Is it like a good idea? And all I could think like was it would be something good for me, and like
something like part of it now, mate.
But like but yeah, like but yeah, it like I could tell it was put together and everything, and it like, see now, just being in it for like even a month, it feels like a family. And I know how cliche that is, but like it honestly is. But it's like it's true, and it's just how it is. So yeah. Yeah.
So obviously you have teased new music, and you have a big headline show coming up. Can we expect new music before the headline show?
Yes. Aye, we've got a big plan. We've got big plans. Big plans. Of course, everybody's got big plans. It's all talk until it's not, right? But we've been in the studio, and like we've said, exciting, and that's really the only word I've got for it. Exciting, because it's just something. See, when you're proud of body of work like this, body of work, it will be soon. But see, this song that we've been in, and lucky enough to try and maybe get somebody that you'll know also on the track. You'll find more about that when you come to the Hug and Pint on the 15th of July. Anyway, we'll have the tune coming out shortly before the gig, give people some time to get their head around the words, and hopefully folk will buy tickets half the back yet if you haven't already. But yeah, a lot of writing, a lot of ideas, and it's collective, and I like that aspect of it. See, doing things collectively, it's tunes as a band, there's a lot more feel to it. And I feel like the studio being such a positive environment really, really helps that. And see, even being with like Jan in the studio, it's the creative input from everyone across all all fields. Like if there's an idea for Boyd in the drums, or Boyd's got something to say for Div, and to just try it out. And it's never there's never an idea that's shut down. And I think that's like, we'll try it, and if it's not what we're going for, that's fine. We'll sack it off. But there's going to be some stuff we're proud of, I think, and we'll see more of that after the gig. But there's definitely a song coming at Feast.
I think as well, with this, going back on to another point, this is the first collective, I would say, is Counting the Days as us.
Yes.
It's the first tune where you can hear all of our influences on it. Yeah, as Reese was saying, you can hear his like style of bass on it. It's more of what to expect. It's what to expect of Counting the Days now and in the future. It's the first tune where we've found our sound, I'd say.
Yeah.
And
the bar's set, you know what I mean? Right.
And again, going off George, I'm so unbelievably proud of this, and we are so unbelievably proud of this. And I cannot wait for it to be out and to hear all you mad buggers singing out along to us.
Oh, I cannot. Right, so finally, we've got this wee section where we're going to look to induct an album into the Chamberlain Therapy time capsule. So this is an album that sort of defines your teenage years, or one that you grew up listening to that defined what you listen to now, or what sound the band is now. Mm-hmm. So if you've all got one, or if you've got a collective, or...
I don't think there's a collective answer.
Yeah, I don't think so. We don't like the people we've become by Gallus.
That's the kind of... That's a genuine... for me, that's the consensus anyway, but...
If we're doing individual ones, yeah.
What's your answer, though?
My answer would be American Idiot by Green Day. Kind of brushed on it earlier on. Just... It set the bar so high for music. The songwriting in it, the fact that it's like a rock opera and it tells a story all the way through the album, and songs like Jesus of Suburbia that I could relate so much to in my early teenage years. It made me actually feel heard and feel seen. I know how cliche that is, but it's the first time I actually connected with music and went, God, somebody hears me out. And it set the bar so high for me doing my own material as well. It's just one of those albums that I wouldn't be in music. I don't know what the hell I'd be doing.
That's a really tough question, man. Like, and see, it defines such like a long span of time over one record. That personally is impossible, right? But 2024, I done my New Year's resolution was an album of the day, which was challenging, very tough at times. And I'll admit that there's times where you come home and you're like, it's a Thursday night, you've been out all day, you've not been home, and you've still got a record to listen to when you get in. It's the one thing you cannot be asked of. Jordan, have you got a similar experience here? I can see your head going.
I tried it. I lasted about 90 days and just tried it. I couldn't do it.
Wow.
I had to listen to like 2 a day sometimes.
It's rough, man, isn't it? It's really rough. Like, see leaving the Christmas table, the dinner table on Christmas Day, to go and listen to like fucking Frank Sinatra, whatever was in your list that day, you know what I mean? And I try to capture as much as possible, but there's records that are special, records that came to me that weren't just like, oh, you should listen to that, and alright, I'll do it, it's my conversation piece at the time. It's like, I grew up in my household, my old man, he was very much hip-hop music, which was... So, I mean, you see the elements in some of Div's verses in this, but so much, like, it was far away, that aspect. We don't like the people we've become, as the last few years has been really special, and that's been something personally. And I think, like Div's saying, music speaks to you, when music makes you feel something, that's when it's become special. And I think the people that I've met through this have all been, I mean, am I right in saying there's a connection between you two knowing each other through Gallus? Is that?
Yeah, so it's all through Gallus. So I don't know if he's know Andy Fulton. Big Andy.
Yeah, big Andy. That's just shit. I forgot to count. I'm kidding on. Yeah, Andy, mate. Andy's a good guy.
Me and Andy went to school together. So me and Andy have been going to Gallus and Dunce and fucking
everyone between, mate.
Everyone for years, and obviously it's just that I mean, Div, man.
Exactly, man. So just, I think childhood-wise, kind of grown up, there was a Nas record, 2002, came out, called God's Son, and I think I was listening back to that the other week, and I'm thinking there's so many elements to just a record like that that's, the face value is a hip-hop record, but there's so, like, not just, it's even the guitar playing on it, like, and I don't know if that's subconsciously, it's stuff that like I can hear in the funk music and this. There's some acoustic guitar sitting there. There's a tune he does with Tupac, it's called Thug's Mansion, it's called, and I'm not being funny, one of the best acoustic guitar pieces I think it's ever written. So that's something that's special, and it's something you probably weren't expecting there. I'm trying to think the other end, Emily Sandy, right? Seriously, mate. That's something my mum had on as a wee guy. I remember that kind of 2012 came out. Other version of Events, it's called. Pure have a great kind of album, right? And I'm not too proud to admit that.
I actually think Emily Sandy might have been the last person I would have thought you.
Mate, I'm telling you, it surprises you. Like honestly, like people, you never know what's in somebody's headphones. It's gallus. It's gallus. And see, in terms of growing up and the growth, like the last 3 years have been life changing. Like the years just get better as it comes on. I'm seeing more of the world, I'm seeing more people, I'm going to more gigs, I'm playing more gigs, and it's not to say life's perfect, but things go in the right direction, and I think that Gallus is something that's been a bit of a constant throughout it all. I mean, 2023, see the year it came out, relatively rough for myself, but I feel like the memories and the nostalgia that accompanies that album is really who I am today. Not saying no the record, but like the memories and listening to that album is more me now than me when I was a wee guy listening to music, you know what I mean? And I'm a musician now, or trying to be a musician now, so I feel like there's a bit more of a connection there listening to it as somebody with maybe a bit more perspective than I would have before. So yeah, we don't like the people we've become is my definitive answer if you push me for it.
There we go.
So fucking good at words, man. Jesus Christ. so poetic.
Writing.
Right, for me, I think, what did I listen to in high school? For me, music was kind of how I made pals in high school. I was an empty. I used to just sit in the music room and play bass all the time until I met these folk that used to come up for lunch, and then they showed me their kind of music. I was into like the Red Hot Chili Peppers was my favourite band at the time. Then
you can see Flea on the stage, know what I mean?
Let's go on it. But then I met my really cool pals. A big influence for me, a pal called Evan Marsh, who cycles for Scotland now, by the way, big Evan Marsh. He showed me Rage Against the Machine, and the bass tone, the bass playing of Tim Comerford. It was just stupendous, man. It's really what I try to go for now for Count the Day. It's just the way he digs in, the way he integrates the funk kind of stuff, like similar to Flea from the Chili Peppers. So that first Rage record means a lot to me. Not only the political message, also one of the first records that kind of taught me how politics is so important in music, and how it's one
that makes you think after you listen to it.
Exactly, man. It's
see when that's cycling through your head for the rest of the day
exactly,
after just listening. Yeah,
and it's and he's so, and Zach De La Rocca, the lyricist, his way with words is so fucking good, man. He's stupid, mate. They're all stupid. They're all amazing. So that first Rage record's really good. I think as well, what else? Stadium Arcadium by Red Hot Chili Peppers, that was a big one emotionally for me anyway. There's a lot of tunes on that. It's where Anthony finally figured out how to sing. John Frusciante being stupid at guitar, Flea kind of taking a more melodic kind of style on bass, and Chad Smith doing what he does on drums. So them two for me, and I've had to pick, for Count the Days, it'd probably have to be the Rage Against the Machine album. Their first one, and Evil Empire's really good as well. People say Evil Empire's probably their best album, but for me, Rage Against the Machine, they're self-titled, the first one, with the monk getting burned at the front cover. It's such a cool front cover, by the way. It's just some cunt dying.
You condone that, but
it's cool. It's just fun, cool, isn't it?
Did he not do it to himself? Was that not?
It was a form of protest, which is so cool because it was such a cool album cover actually, because it's a form of protest, and so is the whole album's a form of protest.
Of course. Just encapsulates it.
Exactly, man.
Seeing what makes you think as well. It's another one.
It's just mad. Rage Against the Machine are one of the fucking. It's such a shame that they're really. I think Zach broke his ankle, and they were touring and he broke his ankle, and I don't think they've toured or played a world tour since, or even live music since.
No, this end of it.
No, definitely no. But yeah, I think I'd have to say for me, Rage Against the Machine, their first album, it's quality.
Brilliant.
My really early, like high school years, it would definitely be Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. Just like banger straight through. Like I don't think I'd put it on and I'd never skip it. But then I kind of get sad, and then I ended up heavy into Death Consciousness by Have a Nice Life. Dead fucking, just eerie, sad music. But then I kind of came out of that happy a bit. And then I discovered my new favourite band, Via Nova, and they just released their album, and it's called Hit It. And it's just like a bunch of experimental, heavy tunes. It's banging. So I think I'd go with that one. Yeah. So,
just to finish off this interview, we will be hearing an acoustic performance of Kings and Queens off the first EP, Backs Against the Wall.
Thanks, class. 1, 2, 3. I'm no longer your pawn. You can keep playing, but I will be gone. Did you expect me to keep going through all the pain? It's the same old shit as always. Why is it happening again? I've played this game before, yes I have, and you are never gonna win. Try and face me all you like, but who's gonna be there when you fall? Did you really think you were gonna get away with this? Leaving me for dark, stranded in the abyss. You say to me that life's a game, but you haven't even got it figured out yourself. You got no direction, no drive, there's no recipe to thrive. Is it any wonder how you can't seem to find a way out? I've played this game before, yes I have, and you are never gonna win. Try and face me all you like, but who's gonna be there when you fall? Not me, or anyone else. Not me, or anyone else. This game before, yes I have, and you are never gonna win. Try and face me all you like, but who's gonna be there when you fall? Not me, or anyone else. Not me. No.